There we go. Right, we are now recording. So this will go up on the archive channel. Hey, what's up, Ryu? My PC said it might rain today. I hope it does. Yeah, it pissed it down here earlier. It was a very short, sharp shower, though. So, right. So, this shouldn't crash the game now. Nice. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna hold off upgrading. I'm gonna hold off upgrading those. Let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, nice. Alright, let's rock and roll. Now, I'm not gonna do anything crazy here, because I still want to complete this tonight, so I am gonna be doing a pretty quick run, but look at that though, 691 out of Chapter 1 on very hard. Like, that's a ridiculous score. How did that not... I've got to remember I don't have Intercept here. I was playing HP2 earlier, so... Yeah. Used to having Intercept. Oh, wise guy. Alright, we'll see if this Scarab thing works. I was 16. Well, no, I was 17 when NGB came out. I was, actually, I was still 16 when NGB came out, but I was 17 that year. So, yeah, I've been... It's crazy. I realized that hit me, you know, I think it was about last year sometime, but it hit me that, you know, I have been playing NG. NG has been a part of, like, NGB and, like, NGO4 have been a part of my life for longer than they were not part of my life. And, that's just, like... It's just a bit of a weird thing to realize, you know? You're like, oh man, you know, been playing this game for a long time. Nice, that's like the absolute best. But look at that, 2,500 out of the kill bonus. I was like 4 years old when Star Wars Episode 2 came out. Ooh, okay. When was Episode 2? 2003? I was a fair bit older. Prequels, man. What did they do? And it's weird because now everyone acts like the prequel. Well, not everyone, to be fair, but like, you know, a lot of people act like the prequels, you know, are like, no, they're actually really good because the sequel trilogy was worse. And it's like, no, the prequels are still shit. Like, sorry, but they are. Like this, they are still awful, awful movies. You know, it's just the sequel ones are that much worse, so they feel less bad by comparison. Don't hit me. Well, that's fine. Oh, I didn't put the infinite items on, did I? Oh, well. I probably should have saved there, because I could actually get guard broke here. Hey, what's up, Mastery? Creepy or South Block, nice. I do like that South Block episode. That's a funny episode, that is. Teacher's having an affair with a student. No, it's a girl. Nice. Well, it's a, you know, it's a boy and a female teacher. You know. I haven't watched a single Star Wars film. I would be, much like Metal Gear Solid, I would be really interested to, you know, hear, like, someone's perspective on, like on Star Wars, like if you've never actually heard anything about it. One thing I would really like, I don't know if he's ever going to do it, but Gabe, the Gab Standard, like he's never played Metal Gear Solid. And I really, really want him to like play all the Metal Gear Solids because he doesn't know anything about them either. Like, you know, he doesn't really know Metal Gear at all. And I thought I'd love to hear like someone's perspective on that has never played Metal Gear Solid. But you know, in this era, because I think it's quite rare. I think, you know, to not be, you know, at all aware of, you know, the Metal Gear, for whatever I don't know what you want to call it, universe maybe, like, you know, because even if you haven't played it, you've probably heard stuff about it. So what's up, PS3 game? Star Wars had good CGI for the time. I don't know. I mean, are you talking about the prequels or the originals? Because the originals, for sure. But, I don't know. I remember seeing The Phantom Menace and really not being impressed by the CG. I was like, man, like all this stuff looks super fake. Like, you know, it did not look the best. I don't know what I'm doing here. I can just nip on. So, I don't know. You know what film I watched last night? I watched Predator again. Because why not? That's a fucking fantastic film. I'd not watched it in a while. I was just really... I really feel like watching a film tonight. I was going to watch something new, you know, that I hadn't seen before. Because I've got a fair amount of films to catch up on. But I thought, nah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's watch Predator. Because this movie kicks ass. And yeah, that movie's still really, really good. I know nothing about Metal Gear lore. Man, okay, then you should play... Okay, that damage is really, really underwhelming. Like, really underwhelming. That really isn't a lot of damage. So's that, actually. Okay, yeah, the stick on this controller. Funny enough, though, it's not actually the stick. It's it's not the stick as in the actual like part of the mechanism. It's just the way it connects, you know, in the housing. Did he just block Inferno, or did he just take it in the face and just not care? I wasn't really watching that. Yeah, so if you listen to this, you can hear that it's definitely rubbing on stuff. I think it just needs like the actual seam sanding down a little bit, and then it'll be fine. Whoops. So you know, I might do that this weekend. Bit of controller maintenance. So I've seen a couple of animated series of Star Wars, so I'll say I don't know anything. Alright. What's up, Zero? Yeah, I think Metal Gear Rising has probably been memed the most, but I don't think that will really, you know, I don't think that will affect you, like, going back to, like, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are games that, I have to replay those at some point. They would be a really cool stream, I think, to replay all of those. I do like Rising, but I wouldn't include Rising, like, in that playthrough. So, you know, I mean, I guess I could, it's just, you know, they don't really go in there, you know. So. Millennium Surfer, you're sharp, aren't you? There's no flies on you, is there? We'll go flails here, why not? That's not the flails. There we go. It's weird having 3 dragon swords. Don't block my move. It really is a shame that, like, there isn't an official, like, that this isn't official, because just a little thing of having the flails here is just so much fun. You know? Like, it really is a shame. Block my moves? I don't think so. Anyway, we need to be quick here. MGR combat is I didn't really get super into Rising's combat. I know there's like supposedly a lot of levels to it, but for me, like, you know, the basic parry is just so powerful in that game. I think, why am I going to use anything else? You know, for every single enemy was literally just, yeah, parry, like, do like whatever the move is you need to do to these guys to like rip out their spine thing, and that's it. You know, I don't doubt that there's probably like a more efficient way to play the game, but you know, I thought, well, this parry's pretty useful, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. I can't remember what the move is called, but you know, the where like you go in slow motion and you like slice and then like you rip out their spine. Is it Zandatsu, I want to say? I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It probably is a better way, but game Diamond Dallas Blade. It is. It's very nice. It's very nice. This is not. Also, this is way more ergonomic for me to take a sip of my brew. So, you know, I think this will be better for the Wii too, because I'm actually dead center on the Wii bar. Like, you know, the Wii. I don't know what you call it, but the Wii motion thing. Which should arrive tomorrow. And then we can play RE4 on the Wii. Well, on the Wii U. Which I'm eager to experience. I don't know. Here's the thing with that. I feel like people are probably going to be disappointed because I'm not really going to play that any differently. I'm still going to play it how I play it. You know, I'll probably just be sat here like this. Like with the Wii in one hand, just doing this to aim. And then like shooting everything in the head. And then just running up and knifing everything when it's on the floor. Because using bullets in RE4 is for scrubs, you know? So, don't expect me to start shooting everything. Hey, what's up, Habit? Oh, fair enough. It's from 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. That was, it's funny, that's the game that gave me the idea to start doing sound bites, because all the taunts in that game are just fucking gold, so. Which is another reason why I would love to play that co-op with somebody. Because then I can be player 2, and I won't be 50 Cent. And then I can get because all the other characters in that game have their own quotes, like when you taunt. So, you know, I want to do that as well. I think that'd be funny. Oh, and the sub-goal thing is not a joke, by the way. I will actually do that. Like, if that is met, I will do another HP2 world record run. I will. I promise you. Mainly because I already have Phase 1 done. To be completely honest. Like, Phase 1 is already completed. I got Phase 1 before I started streaming, so. Hey, what's up, Off? I will on the next... Well, I won't on the next enemy, because the next enemy's got a shield. But, yeah. I'll do it before Dynamo. Hey, what's up, T? I'm having a spot of tea myself. Oh, yeah, we've got tank shell arrows here. Oh, look at you guys. Oh, crap. Okay. I got a bit ahead of myself there. I thought there was only 2, for some reason. There we go. That would have been annoying. Remind me to save here, because I don't want to, like, fuck up here and lose a lot of lose a lot of time. Why did I store the 3 boxes? Yes, because sometimes Ryu will target the boxes, and I only want him to target the boxes that have essence in them. I destroyed the boxes that don't have essence in them. Get off my ship. Your body can get off my ship. You know what would be a really cool little detail in this game? I don't know if anyone's noticed it, but there is like a little bulletin board outside of Hans' bar. Wouldn't it be great if, in the time it takes for this to happen, you know, there was like a, you know, in other news tonight, commando bodies just fell from the sky. You know, it's unknown at this time how this happened, but you just imagine, you know, one of their bodies, like, lands in someone's backyard. Any other Wii games you plan on streaming? Yes, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, because I have both of those. I just never got around to playing them, and I hear they're really, really good. And that will be the first game in... Well, I guess it's not really that series, because they're not the same game, but I don't need Scarabs, because I already got them all. But yeah, that'll be the only game I've actually played to completion, because, you know, I only ever played the originals on the NES, like at a friend's house for like 10 minutes. So, oh yeah, Runaway Lightning. Let me kill this guy first. There we go. So, Runaway Lightning, you need the 3rd hit of this move to connect, and then you press Y, and boom, you get the move. It's, so it is pretty tricky to time, but it's one of those, once you get the feel for it, like, most people just press Y too early. Like, that's, you know, most people get this instead. They get that. And it's like, that happens when you press Y too early. You need to wait for that 3rd hit to connect, and then you press Y. Commandos are one of the best enemies. Actually, I'd say Commandos probably are the best enemy to practice that move on, because they don't have any defense, and they don't block. So you can just walk up to a commando and do it. Let's go fire wheels, smoke bombs. I already have armor, so nice. Try the Wii controls when I first got the Wii version. As far as I can tell, when you go to knife things, the camera auto scrolls down to what it assumes you're knifing, so that's a small quality improvement. Okay, that's cool. What's up, Dave? You bitch. You know, I did wonder what the hell was happening there, and I'm like, oh, the guy grabbed me. I thought Dynamo had grabbed me. Can you do this? Can you Nimpo him, like, through his shield? Yes! Take that, bitch! Fuck your shield. I'm impervious to damage now. Hold this fireball. You know, the only downside to this, though, I'm already doing it. Because I'm actually sat, like, dead on, this really does make me just want to, like, chill like this, you know? Because then I can just move my eyes to read the chat and look at the game. But that's, you know, it's not good for the posture, that isn't. Yeah, I'm going to save now, thank you. Between Sigma and the Xbox upscale, the remakes has already been made. Yeah, they have, yeah. Would you prefer a remake of NGB or a new game? I mean, if they just flat out, like, remade NGB, you know, Halo Anniversary style, and just left it at that, I wouldn't complain. I would buy that game. You know, if they could remake this and make it look like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, like, and make it look as good as, say, like, Ghost of Tsushima or God of War, like, yeah, I wouldn't say no to that. But, you know, I don't think they'd do it. Okay, I need to be a bit further over here. There we go. Nice. Man, look at the active frames on that, man. That was weird. Probably better off just arrowing that, actually, on the speedrun. So, well, I didn't fight Mirai on this stream, but like you can one-shot Mirai with the UF. Which Metal Gear games do you recommend to start with? I'd just go from the very beginning. Go from one. One thing I still don't understand to this day though, if you have a GameCube or if you have like the Dolphin emulator, if you know graphics don't bother you, then by all means go and play the PS1 version. But if not, play the Twin Snakes, because the Twin Snakes looks pretty good. Like, that game, you know, I think if someone, like, couldn't go back to, you know, like, the PS1, Metal Gear 1, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I wouldn't hold that against them. You know, it's like, yep, these games look... Honestly, even when I played them at the time... And I played them, like, in the PS2 era. Like, even at the time, going back to Metal Gear 1, I thought, oof, like, this looks pretty rough. So, if you know, if that bothers you, then I would say just play the GameCube remake. Can we have a whistle tickle reward where you do chill and... I mean, maybe, but I might make it really expensive. Because I know some people have got a lot of those. So, shit. Some people could actually make me just play like that for like a month if they wanted to. So, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. So, you can like DSP with that boxer. DSP? Oh, DSP. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I was like, it's Dark Side Phil, isn't it? So, have you ever seen any mods that unlock difficulty past Master Ninja? No, but that would be cool. That would be really cool. No, I didn't actually. I never played the MSX ones, no. I can't go back to Metal Gear 1. Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. Like, as I've gotten older, like, graphics really don't bother me anymore. Like, I think it's, you see so many generations now and so many different styles. It's like, yeah, it's whatever. Wait, did I actually go to Hans Bar? Soon find out. You can upgrade the Warhammer here. That's kind of weird. Wait, there we go. Yeah, VR missions are great. I really did like those. Is he, like, still doing stuff? Didn't he, I thought he was basically bankrupt. Is that not the case? it's always it's one of those weird streams where I think, why does it's like if anybody knows of the fighting gameplay at Low Tier God, it's kind of the same deal. It's like they serve no real purpose as a streamer other than to be like a joke streamer. Like their whole shtick is that they're a joke streamer. You know, they're a meme streamer. And I think, okay, like it's fucking weird, man. Oh, speaking of that, I have a picture I meant to post in Discord the other day, because falling down that rabbit hole of you know, like the Ass Mister streams. It's man, I'll tell you what, it'll make you question your whole life. What does it mean when something tickles your whistle? I mean, it can mean many things. It's basically just a play on words that I messed up years ago on stream. Because, you know, it's tickle your fancy, you know, like whatever floats your boat, flicks your switch, that sort of thing. And wet your whistle. And I just, you know that sometimes when you're going to say one thing and you say another thing and you just kind of merge them together. And, you know, you'll say something like, I don't know, well, tickle your whistle is a perfect example, but, you know. Let's say if you were thinking about the Xbox One and the Nintendo Wii at the same time, and you're like, oh yeah, the Nintendo One. Wait, no, you know what I meant. Or, you know, the opposite. Or the Microsoft Wii. You know what I mean? Low Tier God is on a different level. The grudge match with Viscount. I didn't even know that was a beef, but I did watch them. I did watch that match. And, man, dude got beat pretty bad. What was it, like 10? Was it 10-4, I think? I think it was 10-4 to Viscount. Right. Oh, 10-6? Oh, okay, 10-6. Okay, 10-6. 10-6 is not... You know, this is the funny thing, right? 10-6 is really not that bad. In a first to 10, like, if I lost 10-6 in a first to 10, I think, no, okay, like, you know, that's fine. Like, it's just the fact that, you know, his, like his promo and everything, and, like, how good he was, and it's like, dude... Even if you lost 10-9, if you lose after talking like that much smack, it doesn't matter how you lose. Like, all that people remember is that you got fucking beat. Like, it doesn't have to be like Sonic Fox PL, you know, 13-0 territory, but like, yeah. He does, yeah, I mean, again, I mean, maybe it's just all a shtick, but you know, if not, yeah, he does come across as, like, just a bit of a twat, you know, to say the very least. I have to think, though, that, you know, all that stuff with streamers like that, I don't know, man. I don't want to abandon the little bit of hope I have left in humanity, so I want to say that it's all a shtick, but I don't know, man. Like Tom Brady, like, I think Tom Brady's a shtick. Because, you know, the alternative is like, okay, this guy actually needs help. You know? People like DSB and Wings of Redemption don't pretend to be joke streamers. They're just in their seriousness. I don't know. That's weird, man. Low Tier God quotes, mods banned anyone that moves. But man, Sonic Fox PL. So I watched that again a couple of days ago, you know. I was just in a real fighting game mood after Evo, so I was just watching like a bunch of top 8s and that. So of course, you know, it didn't take too long for that to pop up in my recommended feed, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember when this happened. Did anyone watch that live, by the way? Because I feel like that, I mean, that was a big thing at the time. But it really caught fire when it went onto YouTube, you know, because then everyone was like fucking watching it. Oh shit, I forgot the Windmill Shuriken. But yeah, watching it live, man, was like, oh, dude. And here's the thing, too. We talked about this a lot over the years, especially on HMK. That set should not have been the blow-up that it was. Like, it absolutely shouldn't have been. Like, PL, especially early on, has, like, at least 3 or 4 games that, like, by rights, he should have probably won. He just, like... PL just cannot play patiently. Like, that's not how he plays. And Like, there's one round in particular where I think he literally has like a 60% life lead and like just goes in and gets beaten. It's like, what? Like, you're playing Buzzsaw Lao like with a life lead. Like, why did you do that? Like, so. When I thought Low Tier God was Life of the Gods. I watched Low Tier God's Salt compilation and Sus moments. Oh, I bet that's pretty funny. So what's up, Secure? Pretty sure. I mean, yeah, as I said, to be fair, he does come across as a total twat. But, you know, you never know. Like, hey, what's up, QC? I watched F-Champ versus Nemo first 20 money match yesterday. That's really good, too. That is really good. If anyone's not seen that. I need to watch that Guilty Gear one. I haven't watched it yet. Someone did post it in Discord. But I can't remember the players' names off the top of my head. But yeah, someone did post that, and I wanna watch that too. Fighting game blow-ups, man. They're fun. They're funny. Has DOA played at Evo? I just remembered, I don't need to read out chats anymore because the stream chat is on screen, so hopefully it's obvious if I'm replying to your message. Yeah, DOA has not been at Evo for a while. I mean, if you're talking main game, because like side tournaments, you know, they're a different thing. And there's a lot of side tournaments at Evo. But main stage, as in the main lineup, I don't think DOA's been at Evo for quite a while. And Evo's game selection sometimes is always a bit weird. I remember when I think KI's last year, I want to say, was 2017, maybe 2016, and it was crazy because, you know, they said at the time, like, yeah, you know, KI won't be at any more Evos, and yeah, everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you know, it's, like, viewers-wise, like, and entrance, like, it's one of the most popular games. Like, why not? And I just don't think they ever really gave, that's gonna kill him. I don't think they ever really gave an answer, unfortunately. It was like, because it's not, deal with it. So, okay then. Jay, the core values. Oh yeah, God, I forgot about that. Core values is like, so you can have Mortal Kombat. You can have Mortal Kombat, but like a game where like the women fight in bikinis and shit. Like, oh, you can't have that. Speaking of which, anybody remember when L.I. Joe got that Brazzers sponsorship, and that caused like an absolute shitstorm online? That was funny. And I don't think that ever actually happened, either. I think that might have been a hoax, but it was funny either way, that so many people just, you know, like, freaked out over it. You know? Speaking of DSP, he was in the Street Fighter scene way back, and he has his own salty moments on YouTube. Yeah, probably, yeah. Beebs are bad, but violence is okay. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. Evo's lineup next year, I'll be watching a bit more closely, because I'm 100% going again next year. I don't know if the next NRS game is going to be out in that time frame. I hope it is, but, you know, we'll just have to see. Because it would be nice to go and play something, but if not, I'll just go and I'll be like an in-person stream monster, you know? But, you know, I'll be supportive. I'll enter a couple of games just so that people can get a free buy, you know. I'll enter under like Whistle Tickler or something, you know. And then people can be like, "Oh man, my first opponent's called Whistle Tickler. What the fuck?" And then when I don't show up, they get a win and they're happy. You know. You should always do that if you go to a tournament, by the way. I think that's like a solid thing to do. Just enter one game and just don't play. Because then you give someone a win, like, and I've said it before, but even if it's a win from your opponent not turning up, and you then go 0-2, you're like, well, technically I went 2-1, because you still got a win, even though it was a bye, but it doesn't matter. Save here, just in case the game crashes. Although, to be fair, it's not actually happened. You know what, I've just realised, I've been playing this on 360 quite a bit lately. No input drops. So, on this Frankenstein controller as well. So, this is the version to play, you know. Joe's about as nice with wait, are we talking about L.I. Joe or me? Because I'm a nice person, but I'm a good driver. So I'm guessing we're talking about the other guy. Thank you. An erotic manga website used to sponsor some Persona 4 Arena Blaze Blue for real, I think. I wonder... That's an interest. I wonder if the reason that got by is because it's just not as well known. Whereas, like, I think, you know, Brazzers has just been, like, so memed, you know, over the years. Like, I think that's probably... Like, you know, more people know of that, especially in America. You know what I mean? Like... It's probably just a lot more in, like, the collective conscience in America, so... What event are we talking about? Evo. I'll be going next year. Like, barring any, you know, barring, like, any crazy life complications that stop me going, which hopefully won't happen. But, you know, it's always a possibility. But barring that, like, I'm 100% going next year. How much do I drink? I'm assuming you mean alcohol. Very, very little. Very little. Like, I don't know. It's so little, it's really hard to even give, like, an average, you know? Enter as Panties Ninja just to be a troll. That would be quite funny, actually. Why am I killing these guys? I don't have to. No, my name is Joe. It's just, you know... J only came around, like, J-A-Y, because some fucker already had, like, JTB on Twitch when I made my Twitch account, which was rather irritating. And it's really weird, like, how common of a name that is on, you know, platforms. Like, I would have thought it wasn't that common because, you know, it's just my name, my initials, but yeah, you know, the only place I was able to get that on was Iberians way back in the day. Like, everywhere else, like, it was already taken. So, you know, what can you do? Original Xbox versus 360 version? 360 version is better. It's funny, I have my original Xbox set up, because I was going to do a couple of things with it, but I'm not sure if I'll do them anytime soon. And going back and playing this on the OG Xbox, man, the performance is not as good as I remembered. let me say that. Like, just the general frame rate and just like the stability of the game is not great. So like, if you do want to go back and play this, I would say like at least 360 version. To be fair, I'd say that's the version to play, but the Xbox One version does look like sharper, I'll say that. But, you know, sharpness versus like input drops, I know which one I'd rather have. We should sue them. I should totally sue them. Just too based. And he was a big RE4 speedrunner. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe like one, because I know that mine thrower video, that mine thrower run I did, like that did kind of catch on for a little bit, and I think a lot of people were watching that. Around the time I think JTB was speedrunning RE4, so maybe people were getting us confused. Because I know a couple of times, every now and then, if I'm in, usually Pharaoh's chat, when he's playing RE4, like, people still get, like, the two of us confused. And it's like, nope. We're, like, completely different people. Just too base. I really do like that, to be honest. I think just too based is pretty funny. Do people really know the name Ryu Hayabusa? I don't know. Depends. Like, I'd say he's probably, like, as time has gone on, he's probably is more well-known. Largely from DOA, I would imagine. It's funny, yeah, because I do run RE4, I just don't speedrun RE4. If I speedran RE4 as well, it would actually be pretty confusing. Man, I think that's like 4 times in a row I've not been shot down. Like, that's pretty crazy. I should copyright my name so people can't use it. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, fair point. Yeah. There was the whole, you know, Hayabusa armor in Halo 3, which, as you know, as a die-hard Ninja Gaiden fan, especially at that time, it kind of crushed me that it looks so shit in that game. I'm sorry, if you use that armor, like, it looks like garbage. It does not look good. It looks like a fan mod, you know? Like, it does not look as good as it should. It really doesn't. And it's a shame, because, you know, like, having, like, a nod to Ryu in Halo was actually pretty cool. It's just... It just looks like shit. I didn't get low health here, so... Yeah, incendiaries are really good on the zombies. It's unusual. Well, you have fun with that. I'm not sure all of us needed to know that, but, you know, you enjoy that. Motherfucker. It's kind of decent. Oh, I disagree. Yeah, sorry. I hard disagree on that. I think it looks absolutely terrible. And the reason I say that is because I have a feeling those assets were taken from, you know, just like the original Xbox version of NG, so, and like morphed into it. So when you put that onto, you know, a 360 game, like, all the other armor in Halo 3 looks really fucking good. Whereas the Hayabusa armor looks, like, noticeably fuzzier and, like, lower poly. You know? Because it's probably just ripped straight from this game. So. Oh, is that... Okay, so Nightbot is working. Ripping Thunder is awesome. Alright, well, we're chewing through this now. Nope. Gotta equip a little different shit here. Yeah, I really hope the Wiimote thing arrives tomorrow. I'd like to get that up and running. And it'll be cool. Like, it's, you know, I'm gonna have to play it on normal first, which is a bit annoying. But it'll at least let me get used to the controls, I suppose. Because I've never actually played a game with the nunchuck and Wiimote. Never played a game with that controller, so. So I remember rightly, Breath of the Wild, you could just use like the regular Wii controller on. The Wii U controller rather. Nice. What about on the other parts of the armor? Like the sword? Yeah, I thought that, like, the sword looked super shit too. Because that's the thing too, like, look at the dragon sword in this game, right? It looks better in this game than it does in Halo 3. Will you be able to play on a large screen? Or are you stuck to the Wii U? You can't use the Wii U gamepad for Wii games. That's why I need the nunchuck thing. Because, yeah, you can't play Wii games on the Wii U controller. Which I think is... I probably did talk about it at the time. But I thought that's really kind of dumb. Because at the time, like, a huge selling point for that system, and it is actually a pretty cool feature, is, you know, you can just play the game on the controller and you don't have to use the TV that you're playing on. And yet, you know, they were like, oh yeah, it's backwards compatible with all these, like, with all your Wii games. By the way, you can't use the Wii U controller to play those. So, like, a huge selling point for this system doesn't apply to, you know, what a lot of people might want to use it for. The Wii U, man, was such a weird thing. I have a sensible, because, you know, that I think I have two, actually, because I'm pretty sure the Wii U comes with one. But that's probably still in my Wii U box, because I just use the one from the Wii, and it's on my monitor now. It's got either side of it on my webcams. So, now you done 2 runs very full with arcade pads. One didn't even have a stick. No, it didn't. The hitbox did not have a stick. Yeah, I don't think it'll be that bad. And I think it's much like this game as well. Like, you know, overall experience of the game is at a level that, you know, I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Now, that's really funny. That was not enough to one-cycle him on hard, and yet it one-cycled him on very hard. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because that was one clip that ended up doing pretty well on YouTube. The sniping clip at the beginning of the waterfall on a hitbox, and I think like the upvoted comment is like, "What the fuck is this?" Because I think like if you've never seen a hitbox before, you'd be like, "What the hell control? Like, what is that control?" Like, it's like, yeah, you're probably not supposed to use this, but you know, got the job done, right? Hey, what's up, Burloud? Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a fun run, though. RE4 on a dance pad. There we go. That, there's an idea. Because I wouldn't even need to mod that, because the dance pad is just a D-pad, right? As far as I know. So, I wouldn't even need to, like, you could just plug in a dance pad and play RE4 on a dance pad. There's an idea. That actually sounds quite fun, now that I think about it. So, GBA attempts says you can mod the Wii U to inject Wii games and play on the gamepad. Oh yeah, I don't doubt that it's possible via modding, but like, you know, it's not possible out of the box. And I think with all the things that kind of plagued the Wii U, the fact that you couldn't do that was really questionable. Did anyone have a Wii U? Like, as in, you know, was that anyone's, like, current system? Because that sold really badly. I'm curious. Hey, what's up, Tio? How you doing? There was a player at Evo that played with a Guitar Hero controller. I remember that. There's quite a few players as well. It's like, it's not uncommon for people to play on a keyboard either. Because it's basically like, it was like a hitbox before hitboxes were a thing. So, you know, it was actually pretty OP. There was a Cyrax player in the MK9 days. Oh, what the hell? Winter Wars, he played on a keyboard. I actually don't want Essence for this, do I? So. He plays on a keyboard. Yeah, I say. It is basically just a hitbox. So, it does make sense. I never owned a Wii U. I don't think many people did. Someone quickly, like, look up, like, what the actual sales were of the Wii U. I think it was around 11 million. Look at that fucking damage. I'll take that. I don't think so. You wish. Thanks. That's teamwork right there. Nice. The main man played a Kazuya player who had a keyboard macro. Oh yeah, I've seen that, yeah. I've seen that. Like, it's actually disgusting. And like the one button electric macro as well. Just crazy. And if I remember rightly, doesn't he still lose that game against the main man? I think he wins. I was interested in the idea of playing RE4 on the PS2 with the PS3 remote. Oh yeah, because I forgot about that, yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny. That does mean you'd have to play the PS2 version, though. You know, and that version is horrendous. I was on vacation last week and I spent most of it playing NG. Nice, that's totally fine. The first year I went to Evo, when me and Al went on the road, when we went to San Diego to meet Wabel and Preet, we spent like a good day and a half just playing NG. And Wabe is big into beer, like brewing his own beer. So that was a good day and a half. That was. It was just beer, NG, beer, NG. What more could you want in life, really? Is the PS2 version that bad? Yes, it is. Not only is, like, does it look like shit, perform like shit, and everything else about it, but, like, it's, like, mechanically is also terrible. Like, so, they didn't, like, so the GameCube at the time, like, the cutscenes for RE4 on the GameCube run in real time. So that's why the QuickTime events are super snappy in the GameCube version. On the PS2 version, there's a horrendous delay on the input, so you can actually miss the QuickTime event just because of that delay, because it's so bad. And then the enemy counts are severely reduced because, like, the PS2 was a lot weaker than the GameCube. So, like, certain fights have way less enemies in them. Like, Mercenaries is a joke. Like, you know, it is not the version to play. Like, even from, like, a curiosity standpoint. Like, just, you know, at the time, you know, just play the GameCube version. But now, like, you know, you've got so many options. So. I just want to see if it's the DMC. I think the original PC port apparently was, you know, legit broken. So, I guess that makes it worse, but... You know, it's just how, you know, how, like, chopped up the PS2 version feels. Because at the time, you know, a console exclusive having, like, a kind of weird PC version being dog shit was like, well, you know, that's not exactly a surprise. So, I think the GameCube version is the only version that has real-time cutscenes. I think the Wii has it too, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you, like, the Wii has, like, the Nintendo, like the GameCube guts in it in some way, shape, or form, I think, because when you put a GameCube game into a Wii, it basically just turns your Wii into a GameCube, you know? Which is kind of cool. In like a weird way, like, that's kind of awesome, you know? You know what, though? With how many of those I have, like, I've never watched the cutscenes on Resident Evil 4 since playing it on the GameCube, so I actually couldn't tell you if they have real-time cutscenes or not. I'm trying to think of, like, the Krauser cutscene, you know? What do you mean by real-time? All I can say is the costumes do change. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's exactly my point.
Have a bottle of Red Bull.
Oh, thank you for the donation, Newton. That's kind of hard for me to read. Because it's my monitor's a lot further away, but I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, so on the GameCube, you know, if you have, like, the tactical vest on, like, that tactical vest will be in the cutscene. I just thought, actually. One APF SDS core. Yeah, and I can't tell you if that's on the I want to say it is on the PC version of, like, the HD remaster. If it's not, it's kind of a blow-up. So... But yeah, I think it is. Nice. Oh yeah, what am I doing? Whoa! Shit. When RE4 comes out next year, I kind of hope they do take them out. I do. It's or just like put the cutscenes in and like keep the cutscenes, but just take out the QuickTime events. I think QuickTime events definitely belong. You know, like they belong in the past. I'm sorry, but I think, you know, they just. That was one thing, actually, because I replayed Bayonetta this year. Because I've been wanting to replay that for a while. And that's one thing that made that game feel really old. Like, man, you know, I forgot there's a lot of QuickTime events in this game. Like, there really is a hell of a lot of QuickTime events. So, I would like them to get rid of. I'd like them to get rid of them. One thing I dislike about Professional, I love the tactical vest, and I wish I could wear it as a cosmetic option. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. Also, fun fact, in the GameCube version, the RPD uniform actually, like, has the tactical vest attribute to it. So, if you play on normal or easy and buy the tactical vest, I think you get, like, a 60% damage reduction or something crazy. Like, it takes a lot to kill you if you do that. So... I'm just going to close my blind because I'm sat right in the sun here and I'm getting a bit warm. There we go. Also, we should use the Mafia outfit without Ashley's armor. Yeah, I'd like that too. That'd be cool. I mean, as I said, like, I've not changed my opinion on that. But, you know, if we're talking wish list, like, I would actually like to see them gone. Or, at least, you know, toggle. Yeah, here you go. Make them a toggle. You know, if you want them in the game, fine. If you want to turn them off, turn them off. There you go. Then everyone's happy, you know. The Husey era lasts for more than 10 years is quite amazing. Did it really, though? I don't know. Did it really? I feel like God of War and RE4 were the games that really, like, put QuickTime events on the map. God of War was... RE4 was 2005. I want to say God of War was either 2004 or 2005. I don't... Like, QuickTime events weren't still super common in 2015. Like, I don't know about that. I'd have to do some like actual dates, look up some dates on that, because you think 2015 is like 2 years into the PS4 generation, you know, there weren't still hella games with QuickTime events in 2015. Do I use sunscreen? If I know I'm gonna be out in the sun for, you know, a long time, yes, because I burn quite easily. But if I'm going shopping, you know, if I'm only going to be out for like an hour, I don't bother, no. And you know, living in England, you know, it's not usually much of a concern. You don't usually get much sun here, so it's only really been over the last like few weeks that it has actually been quite warm. Like every day it's been, you know, over 20. Which, you know, to some places is laughable, but, like, you know, you don't get that much here. It's only the same, I guess, as when people talk about, like, oh man, it rained, like, you know, it rained 2 days in a row where I live. That's really unusual. And, like, living in England, hearing that, you're like, man, you must not get a lot of rain. Because it's funny, I remember hearing it, I think it was yesterday, actually. This last week and a bit, you know, it's been, like, one of the driest ever. Because it's so unusual to go, you know, like, like more than a week without getting rain. I got any talismans? No, I don't. I'm gonna go save here. What do you think of Shenmue as the first? What year did Shenmue come out? Because that's how I'm thinking, you know, like, there were definitely games that had QuickTime events in them prior to God of War and RE4, but God of War and RE4 are absolutely what popularized them, you know? Like, 100%. After God of War and RE4, like, QuickTime events were fucking everywhere. They were everywhere. How do you reliably shoot the guys behind the raised platforms? You just need to aim a little bit above where their head actually is. Because the hitbox on the arrows is, like, really, really big. So, you don't need to aim as low as you might think. So just aim a little bit above their head and you'll still hit them. 1999? Yeah, so, yeah, perfect example. Like, as of, like, the year 2000, like, you know, not everything had QuickTime events, you know. But, like, post RE4 and God of War, like, you had first-person shooters with QuickTime events in them, you know. Like, Halo 4's ending is a QuickTime event. Warhammer 40k Space Marines ending is a QuickTime event. Like, it's pretty nuts when you think, like, the impact they did have. That's not a knock on those endings, by the way. Ooh, that's close. Just an observation. On the contrary, actually, I was kind of happy, at least in Space Marines' case, that the ending was a QuickTime event. Because, you know, I thought you can't really do an ending in the game that would be satisfying. So, you know, I think it actually fit that game pretty well. Oh yeah, Gears of War had plenty of quick time events too. That was a lot, man. There was a lot. And this has been a theory of mine, but I always think that the popularization of like automated systems as well, I think you could kind of chalk that up to quick time events. Like when Assassin's Creed came out, and everyone was like, oh my god, like the movement in this game is amazing. I fucking hate the movement in Assassin's Creed, just so, you know, cards are on the table there. I can't stand it, because, like, you're not actually moving in that game. Like, the game is doing all of it for you, and I hate that. Like, I actually want to move myself. And it's really annoying because, you know, Infamous is a game that did, like, the super big open world, but, like, you actually had more control over your movement. And I think in a lot of ways, like, that's... I think you could chalk that to quick time events, because it's, you know, it's just... All you've got to do is this, and the game will do all the cool shit for you. You know, you don't actually have to do any work to do all the cool shit. Like, Ninja Blade? Anybody remember Ninja Blade? So... I like RE4s. I don't mind them. It's just after, you know, like 100,000 playthroughs of that game, you know, it'd be nice to skip them. You know, like I wish I had £1 for every time I have done the Krauser cutscene. You know, I'd be able to buy like a lot of shit for that. I really would. And again, like in the remake, if they, I mean, here's the thing, right? They're not going to be in the remake. You know why? Because they would actually require work. The meeting's going to go like this. Okay, so we're going to redo the QuickTime events and do all these cutscenes, and the people with the money are going to be like, no, just make them cutscenes. No. That's going to take too much work. We don't want to actually have to pay you more than we have to. So, no, fuck that. And then at the same time, they'll point to all this other stuff on their whiteboard. Like, what about the island segment in the fucking trash? What about the bulldozer segment in the trash? Del Lago in the trash? Make the game 90 minutes long. Make the game 90 minutes long, make Ryu, make Leon aim like, you know, someone who has fucking Yoshimitsu's, like, back one string going all the time. Make the movement speed super shit and low, so people are like, this game's really long. No, it's only really long because your character's run is the equivalent of, like, you know, someone with no legs. Which, again, is something I didn't really take note of until I went back and played the remakes. When you run in the old Resident Evil games, you're actually moving at a fair pace. When you run in the remakes, you can't call that a run. That's not running. You're going at like a trot at that point. I'm gonna go save here just in case it crashes. Put Ryu in RE4. Ryu should be in RE4. That'd be sick. But yeah, you know, we'll see, man. As I've said many times, like, if you're optimistic about the RE4 remake, God bless you, but I think you got to be realistic, man. That game's not going to be good. But because it's the RE4 remake, you know, because it has Resident Evil 4 in the title, everyone's just going to be on the Kool-Aid, man. This game's amazing. Like, nah, it's not. It's actually not amazing. They screwed us with RE3. They screwed you with RE2 as well. They absolutely did. It's just, you know, RE2 was the first, for one. Like, it was the first of those remakes. And I don't know. I think, like, I feel like the stream culture, like, helped that game in a way as well. I feel like it kind of hurt the RE3 remake that, like, Mr. X didn't catch on. Nemesis, like, didn't catch on the way, like, Mr. X did in that one. It's kind of like how, what's-her-face, Lady Demetresque in RE8, like, she was, like, she just, like, caught on, you know, as in the internet space, you know. I'm optimistic, but not for a rehash of OG RE4, but a different take on RE4. I mean, it's definitely going to be a different take on RE4, 100%, because to remake RE4 would take way too much work. I'm not optimistic about their retake on it. You know? Yeah, she was, yeah, and that's what I mean. You know, she's only in, like, what? Like, the first, like, 2 hours, maybe, of RE8, and then just, like, you never see her again. You know? So, RE2 was a good... RE2's alright. Like... It's alright. I will get... Yeah, RE2 is good. It's good. It's okay. But, like, the 3 remake is, like, legit bad. So. She's basically the tutorial boss. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think... And I don't know about anyone else. I think she's, like, by far the least interesting, you know, character in that game. Outside of, what's it? I don't know. What are they called? Like the 4 or 5 people you have to like hunt down. You know, or of all of them, like I think she's the most boring. I hate that she was super slow. Yeah, she is. Yeah. And that's another thing that worries me about RE4 as well. Like playing 7 in the remake, they're very, you know, they're very guided experiences. You know, RE4 was very linear, but with the gameplay, mainly through the gameplay, like you had ways to like express yourself and like do shit. You know, I feel like that's gonna fall by the wayside in the remake. RE2 remake, I believe you had something. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think the RE2 remake was 100% like cash grab. You know, it definitely had some, you know, some attention put into it, but I do think it does coax by on just RE2 nostalgia. The second scenarios in that game, like, I think people are way too nice when they say, like, oh yeah, the second scenarios, like, aren't quite as good as they were in the originals. It's like, no, the second scenarios don't fucking exist in the remake. They exist in name only, you know? And, yeah, I've said this before as well, but, like, Mr. X should not have been in Scenario 1. He should not have been in your first playthrough. I think that just completely, like, ruins the point of him. The fact that he's only in the second scenario in the original, it's like, it's part of what makes it feel so special. It's like, oh yeah, you only get this guy in the second scenario. You don't get him in the first one. And I can't remember, like, in the promo stuff for that game, I'm pretty sure they did show Mr. X, but it wasn't, you know, I think people that played RE2 originally, like, would have just assumed, oh, you know, so he's back and he's, you know, he's only in the second scenario. Whereas people that had never played it, you know, you think they play the first scenario and they don't encounter him at all, and they're like, where's that dude with the hat that was in all the trailers? And then they play the second scenario and then he's in it. That would have been so much better. So, no, I don't mean from a gameplay standpoint. I mean from like a pure reception standpoint. The fact that that game is just a remake of most people's favorite classic Resident Evil, like, carries it a lot. Like, you know, there's stuff about that game that I think is, like the fact that the knife has durability, I feel is like, really arbitrary. It's like, why? Like, because it's not durable, the durability's not enough to really, like, affect how you use it. It's just so you can't infinite everything with it. But one of the unlockables is an infinite knife. No one's going to be doing that on their first playthrough anyway. And I would argue, like, most people probably aren't even going to think of using the infinite knife anyway. Because it's not immediately apparent of why the knife is so good. That's the same in the classic Resident Evils too. So, they should have made it more like the original. That's what they should have done. That's why the original remake is far superior. Well, it's not the only reason, but... So. I also wish they would have made it easy to legally get the OG REs on PC. Yeah, again, I'm still really baffled by why they haven't done that yet. That there has to be some, you know... Say, the only theory that makes sense to me is that there has to be some... There has to be something in, you know, contracts or litigation involving, you know, the original Resident Evils, because otherwise they would. Because, you know, they, you know, I really can't think anyone at Capcom is like, no, we're not going to bother doing like the 3 minutes of work it would take to do this. Because nobody will buy them. Like, people would absolutely buy them. Like, you know, they absolutely would. I think the thing that would fuck up, that is, I think, Capcom just being too greedy. You know, they'd put them out and charge like 20 quid for a PS1 game when people could just, you know, be like, okay, I can press 3 things here and just play it via emulator for free. So, because didn't they do that with RE4? Didn't they put RE4 on the Switch, but it's like 40 quid or something? It's like $50. It's almost a full-priced game on the Switch. Like, it's really, really expensive. So, I've done long knife runs only on my first playthrough in Ninja Gaiden. Is the knife useful in RE1 and RE2 original? It is, yeah, but you have to kind of figure it out. Like, you have to figure out why it's useful. So, it's because you can't use it as you can use a defensive item. That's a fair point, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, if the knife was like completely invincible, then you could just like retrieve it from zombies. That's a good point. Actually, on that note, the infinite knife in the RE2 remake, can you do that? Can you just, like, use that to just get out of grabs infinitely and just... Because there are certain enemies, aren't there, that you can't retrieve the knife from. Like, you can only retrieve the knife from them if you kill that enemy and they stay on screen. So, if you was to use that in a boss fight, for example, like, would you be able to get the knife back? Or does it just repopulate in your item box? I just thought that'd be an easy way around that, I think. I don't know if that's how it works, but it would make sense. I'm going to grab that, because I don't have many. Usually PC port Japanese games doesn't have a closed game or exit. Back to those years. Hey man, the fucking, the Master Collection didn't, when it launched, I don't think. Feel free to correct me for that, but I don't think it did. I don't think the Master Collection had a way to like exit the game originally. I think that was in like the first update. So, oh, if you use it as a boss, it's going to be on the floor. Okay, that's fair enough then. Also, with the frame rate affecting the knife damage, it's so dumb. That's the main reason why I'm still probably going to get RE2 Remake on the PC, just for that. Just so I can set it to like 200 FPS and just use the knife, because it'll be funny. So. On Switch, you can get RE4 and 5 for about 35. Is that each or in total? And also, I'd wager, yeah, that's true now. When they very first put them out, I remember that catching... I remember them catching flack for that. Because remember when RE4 came out on the 360, when they did like the initial HD remaster? That was, I think... I'm trying to remember pricing structure back then. I think that was... Because that was... I want to say that was still Microsoft points, actually. But I remember, you know, you can tell by the achievements in the RE4 on 360 that it was supposed to be like a, you know, an 800 Microsoft point game because it's got 12 achievements. But they put it out, and I'm pretty sure like it was a lot more than that. Motherfucker. To be fair, that was my fault. I kind of had a feeling that essence wasn't going to be there. So. Oh, you can get it as a bundle? To be fair, that's pretty good, actually. That's not bad. That's what, like 11 quid and change per game? That's alright. The Switch tax. I know, man. The Switch tax, man. It's crazy. You use a 240 or 360 Hz monitor, man. I imagine, because didn't they have to? They had to restrict that, didn't they, for speedruns? Because if you have, you know, if you have like a powerful enough rig to just play the game at like 300 FPS, you know, like the knife, like is just absolutely bonkers, which is pretty funny, actually. So many easy types of extra. Oh, I know, and that's what was one of the most disappointing things about it. Like the RE4 on consoles, like if that game had 50 achievements, like you could have made a really fun achievement list for that game, and it's basically just complete the game on professional, and you have all the achievements. I think the only ones isn't it, I think it's bottle caps, isn't it? Like the only optional one is bottle caps or something like that. I think that's it. Like if you complete the game on professional, the only thing you're left with is like the bottle cap achievement, which is just such a waste. So, just like if that game had 50 achievements, you know what? Like yeah, 50 achievements. You don't have to say them all at once, but like think of some cool ideas for achievements in that game. You know, kick a guy into the truck in the bulldozer segment. That could be an achievement because that'd be funny as fuck. Do a no merchant run. That'd be funny. Yeah, like yeah, knifing a medallion. A no merchant run would be an amazing achievement because that would kind of push people to, you know, I think that would make a lot of people like a lot better at the game. It's like, oh man, like no merchant run, like, damn, you know, that sounds quite hard. And it would get, but you know, achievements would get people to do it, you know. That's one thing I really hope they don't drop the ball on in the RE4 remake, but I have a feeling they will. Another thing I will give the RE2 remake, the trophies and achievements on it are really good. Like, they're really, really good. Like, I think a lot of people probably have, like, the, you know, the speed run trophy or, the don't use item box trophies. Whereas if those trophies weren't in that game, like, nobody would play the game like that normally. Like, it only, like, you know, the, like, crazy people would, you know. Ditch Ashley with jet ski. Oh, yeah, yeah, Dip Man, actually. Although, yeah, that'd be really funny, actually, yeah. The suplex is only possible in the GameCube version, though. So, you wouldn't actually be able to get that achievement in the 360 version. Complete the game within X amount of hours. That'd probably be the last one I would get. A speedrun achievement. But yeah, that'd be cool. So, it was paid to win for speedrunning, only allowed to play on 120 or 60. Oh, I thought it was capped at 60. Oh, okay. I thought it was capped at 60. I'm guessing there must be separate categories now then, right? Yeah, kill all enemies. I'm trying to think. Kill 2 Salvadors in the like kill both Salvadors in the village segment. I think that would be a pretty cool achievement because that was a pretty late discovery, relatively speaking. I remember that thread being posted on GameFAQs, and it was like, there are 2 Salvadors in the village, and the guy got blown up for that thread. Like, everyone was like, no, there isn't. There's only one. And he was like, no, there is. Like, yo, look at that damage. Man, that's actually pretty crazy. I just thought this is the true dragon sword. So I was thinking, man, that did a lot of fucking damage, didn't it? But yeah, true dragon sword. Yeah, and then I remember trying that with what he said. And yeah, lo and behold, I was like, oh shit, there's another Salvador here. And he drops a, he drops a ruby as well. So he, you know, it's a pretty good setup for the start of the game. It's an extra 10 grand. But yeah, everyone was like, nope, you're wrong. So, was there any people will score like amazing OG RE4 credibility if they answer yes to this question? Anybody remember like the GameFAQs boards from back then? That was one of the few places on what's it called? That was one of the few places on Game FAQs that was actually like not a cesspool of garbage. Like the RE4 boards were really quite good. The Mercenaries high score thread went on for like until like 2009. Like people were still regularly posting in that. Do that again, please. Not that. Thank you. Dogs can't look up. Get past the dogs without being attacked. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one. I can't... Okay, someone needs to think of, like, a cool name for this. But, using the mine thrower, like, shoot someone in the head, and then kick that enemy into, like, at least 3 more enemies and have the explosion kill them. I don't know what you could call that one. But like that would be a cool achievement to go for. NG FAQs. To be fair, it wasn't. Like, the NG boards weren't bad, but the Iberians forum came up, like, quite soon after, so that's kind of where just everybody went. And then, once all those people no longer went to GameFAQs, like, the NG board became pretty shit. The earliest kind of RE4 I can remember is the Bentley Bros parody. Damn, that gets you credibility for sure. What about, anybody remember the Days of Our Lives? Like, machinima style thing from Wesker's house? Shoutouts to that. Reddit doesn't fill the hole that GameFAQ. I've never actually used Reddit. Mine over matter. Oh, Minesweeper. Oh, that's good. Oh, both of those are good, but yeah, Minesweeper is really good. I like Minesweeper. That's a good one. Hot potato, the idea of being tossing explosives into the enemies. Or what about this one? And I laugh maniacally whenever I get this, but you know that bit where you on the way to Del Lago, and there's that guy that like runs at you in front of the tripwire when you shoot his leg out, and he just literally just face plants the tripwire and gets blown up. Like that always makes me laugh. Yeah, I get that there's so many cool achievements they could have done in that. Also, Mercenaries as well. Think about it. They could have had some achievements for Mercenaries. You know, obviously like get the hand cannon, but you know there could have been other achievements in Mercenaries. Days of Our Lives. Yeah, man, I remember that. I remember that actually that fucking made me crack up at the time. It really did. Like, I remember finding that really fucking funny. I probably wouldn't if I went back and watched it now. Wrong Nimbo. Yeah, I fucking knew he was gonna do that. That's why I saved. Yeah, Minesweeper, I think, is the best one for that. I'm trying to think, is it too much to put like a handgun only run achievement in there if you can use all the pistols? So if you wanted to, you could just use the Matilda. I think that's pretty reasonable. But yeah, like a pistol only achievement would be kind of cool. Ooh, I thought that was going to hit me. What time is it? Oh, it's only 20 past 6. Of course. No, you motherfucker. I think it's something like different weapon combo runs are encouraged. Yeah, it'd be cool. I say that they could do so many runs in that game. I think the no merchant run I think is really cool. I like that the no merchant run has become popular enough to where like there's actually a no merchant speed run category now, which is a really fun run if no one's watched that. It's a really cool run, that is. Something along the line of Dead Space's Plasma Cutter only achievement. Yep. 100%. I forgot my Nimpo. Damn it. Well, I have more Nimpo to spare. Same for, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, beat the game without ever using the knife. That'd be nice. Yeah, so many they could have done. Like, I think they did definitely drop the ball on that. Right, I'm gonna go get some more water while this goes on. Just thought there's no real way to edit out these breaks for the archive, but you'll just have to deal with it. Beat the game with collecting all the herb mixers with the default case. That you know what? I really hope that run actually, like, catches on, because that is that's one of the most fun, like, challenge runs I've done in that game in a long time. That was a really, really enjoyable run. And it gets, like, quite tricky towards the end of the game. You know, like, you don't, like, you run out of space, like, pretty fast. So, it's not like Capcom's really cool achievements was neat getting the arrow deflecting one. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Yeah, RE5 legit has some really good achievements in it. So, you ruined the suspense of killing U3 with the practice run though. I don't remember. What was that? I can't remember. How did I kill him? Was it incendiaries? Because I think it's like, is it 10 incendiaries kill it? Which is something that, again, I feel like is not that common knowledge, but, you know, I mean, it's weird because, like, when RE4 came out, and on your first playthrough, like, the thought of spending 30k for a rocket launcher is like, oh my god, it's so expensive. And then, you know, when you realize, like, how crazily generous that game is with money, you know, the strategy for every boss is just buy a rocket launcher. But again, you know, killing it with all the incendiaries way back when, like, that was a really good strat. It was like, man, you know, incendiaries past the village on Pro aren't all that useful because they don't really one-shot enemies anymore. But, you know, you can just save up all your incendiaries and just delete, you know, one of the tougher bosses. You had to buy all the ammo you could for the 2 magnums to kill him. Oh, was that it? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that does ring a bell, actually, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's one thing with RE4. It's cool that that game has had, like, a bit of a renaissance in, like, the last 5 years, but it's somewhat frustrating that it's mainly focused around speedrunning. Because I think that, like, that game has one of, if not, like, the best, like, sandbox-type mechanics in it, to where you can, you know, oh, I'm going to play through this whole game. Like, you could almost just, like, pull things out of a hat, you know, to play through that game with, and it's probably possible, if you're patient enough. And there's just not many games like that. So, you figured out the incendiary strat for the TMP and mine thrower run? Oh, okay. And I think the way that game handles New Game Plus, like, is it, and again, whether that's, who knows if that's intentional, but, because that's, like, the first run I do on Professional on the Wii will be that run. Where, like, I'll go through the run on the Wii, and I won't upgrade my case, and I won't upgrade my health bar at all. So then if I want to do, you know, because then that opens up the ability to do any kind of handicap run on that New Game Plus file. And who knows, like, maybe that was by total accident, or maybe they thought, hey, what if someone wants to, like, not upgrade anything, and then, you know, play through the game with just the pistol for fun. That'd be super cool. Yeah, so do I. You know, for a split second, when I saw that, like, a couple of people that were, like, pretty well known, like, in the Resident Evil scene, like, were going to do, like, the no item case run, I thought, like, could this potentially catch on and, like, people actually try this? Because I think a lot of people at first probably sleep on how difficult that run is. And I mean, I say that, but I mean, now you can actually go and watch my run, or you could watch that other guy's run. You know, before those runs were on YouTube, you know, if you wanted to do that run, like, a huge part of it was, you know, figuring out everything yourself. Like, for example, the night room strategy. If I hadn't have figured that out, fucking hell, man, I honestly don't know if I'd have gotten past that. Like, getting them stuck with manipulating the camera, like, you need to do that because of how slow the reload is on the default handgun. I haven't seen many others do it. The only other actual no item case run I have seen is from the guy who posted it, like, I don't know, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks after I posted mine. That's the only other actual no item case run that's on YouTube. The other ones that are on there, like, aren't the same run. You know, they're not. To the point where, as I said, you know, like, the leap in logic of, like, I'm gonna do this run, and yet I'm blatantly going to open my case. I think, well, hang on a minute. Like, that's... Yo, man. If you do a no merchant run, but you go to the merchant just to buy the bigger item cases, guess what? That's not a no merchant run, because you've used the merchant. Like, if you open your case and like, if you see your case, that's not the same thing. Same. Yeah, exactly. But, like, the camera makes that much easier, because you then know, like, when to stop moving and when to start moving. I still need to get the Azuna drop. I left it behind in Chapter 4. And also, but the Salazar fight too. I'm not aware, but until I did that run, I've never actually seen that sweet spot used in a run before. You know, where you just stand like slightly to the left of where his grab move hits you. I've never seen that before in a run. So, and since doing that run, I have seen people use that strategy. I think, you know, thinking, where'd you get that from? Maybe. Like, you know. Yeah, I totally forgot. I think it's because I'm on this run. I assume I have everything, but obviously I don't. I still don't have the Azuna drop. I think a bite will actually kill me at this health. So, you know what though? Diamond Dallas Blade was actually quite good against Doku. So, yeah, there we go. We'll use that instead. You know what I'd love a mod for is just a white Dark Dragon Blade. I think that would look fucking sick. That would look really... Or a chromed one, like a chromed steel Dark Dragon Blade, I think would look really cool. Yeah, we... you know, it's weird. It's not that long until the RE4 remake comes out, man. What is it, like 3.5 months? It's January... What is it? Like... I want to say, is it January the 17th? I don't know why, but that date just popped into my head for some reason. No, oh no, that's I'm thinking of Dead Space. Never mind. The Dead Space remake is January, isn't it? RE4 remake is March. Yeah, that's it. Because it's Callisto Protocol in December, Dead Space remake in January, and RE4 remake in March. So if they don't fuck up that RE4 remake, maybe if they actually hopefully prove me wrong, that's going to be a godlike month for like horror action games. Well, not month, but like 2 and a bit month period. Hey, what's up, Ghosted? I literally just busted my chair leaning back. Oh, that sucks. Tinder PTSD. Is Tinder still popular? Like, do people still use it? It's a reference to the Mercs in Chronicles of Riddick. I mean, it's my PSN name when MK9 came out. I mean, don't all dating apps, like, suck, though? Wait, did I forget counterattacks? Wait, hit me. No, I just timed it wrong. Thanks, Doku. Wow, that damage is pathetic. I mean, that's not much better, but... Thanks, Doku. I really hate that move is so bad. You know, like, just the tap Y move. Tinder was always... I don't know, I feel like there was a time where Tinder was, like... I don't know. Maybe popular is the wrong word. But it wasn't hated. And... You know, I don't know, I just don't feel like... I feel like now it's just a meme. It's like, oh yeah, you know, don't bother with it. Call me old-fashioned, but I feel like the whole thing of like a dating app or like online stuff, I feel like, I don't know, man. It's not how you should meet people for that purpose. And I'm not talking about just hooking up, like, you know. What's up, Dante? Tinder is only good if you're a woman or a Chad. I would say it's only good if you're a woman. honestly. I mean, even if even if you look like Chris Hemsworth, I would imagine that, someone did actually post some stats a while ago. I don't know how accurate they were, but on stream, someone did post some stats in the chat about, dating profiles and that, and they were pretty crazy, but they weren't unbelievable. Women in like the top 5% of profile. Yeah, so there was a stat related to that where, not just the top 5%, but like apparently on dating apps, like women only like, something like 1 in 25 profiles or something like that. Whereas men like 80% of people, swipe right, I guess. Men will swipe right on like 80% of women, whereas women like hardly ever do it with men, And again, take that with a pinch of salt. Because it's all that. But I mean, looks look, and especially like in general, like I think in like a person-to-person environment, like looks I don't think are as big of a deal. But if you're literally just looking at like a picture of someone, like the first thing you are going to think is like, okay, how hot is this person? If you're on a dating app, like that's perfectly. I don't think that's like a damning thing. Like it's pretty. It makes a lot of sense, really. It's why you're on there at the end of the day. So you're gonna want physical appearance like is gonna be a big factor. It depends on your situation, how you present yourself online, but I think it's mostly a Gong show that leads nowhere. Yeah, as I said, like for me, I think it's just an age thing. If someone was 21 and like their whole thing about meeting people was dating apps, like I'd be like, yeah, that makes total sense to me. But for me, I just I don't think it's the thing, I've seen stats, even a 1 in 10 woman gets way more matches than a male model. Yeah, but that's like, again, like that's the thing as well. Like, it's so subjective though. Like physical appearance is so subjective. Then if you're part of the swiped right on, will she talk to you? In my experience, no. And that's my thing with a lot of dating apps. Like, I think now they're just legit scams. I think 90% of like profiles on them are fake. Like they're just bot accounts, that are there to like keep people there. With like, oh, you got like X many likes today or something, and so people are like, well, like maybe like one of them, like I think that's the hook they use. I should probably save. It's like we're gonna cancel women. No. Don't do that. But yeah, like that's my. And I know that's very tinfoil hat theory, but I don't know, man. I think of it like this: like if I was in charge, like if I was in charge or whatever at those apps, that's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Because I think this plays on people's like, well, you never know, so they'll stay, they'll stay subscribed. I don't know how much they are. If you're on them like all, if you've got like the pro versions, but from what I remember, like I don't think they're that expensive. So, if it's only like say a tenner a month, people spend that on Netflix, So, and here's the thing too, like not to throw shade, but especially dudes, most dudes will spend 10 quid a month with like the carrot on the end of the stick being, well, I might get laid like once every couple of months if I keep paying that money. Like most dudes will do that. Like that's pocket change for that. So Tinder's asking them like a 5, 1, 9 out of 10. Yeah, but I say that again, that's subjective. I have female friends who are like legitimately drop dead gorgeous who don't think they're attractive, and I think you are fucking insane. Like, if we lived in the world of like Mad Max, like they would host like people would have like men would have like fucking Hunger Games events for you, and they don't think like they genuinely don't think they're pretty. So it that's all in here. Yes, there's definitely like conventional things that people like, but on that note, right, here's something that's interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but yeah, but every now and then where like they'll do like a random selection, and I'm talking about women here, and they'll show like like a bodybuilder or like like an actor or someone, and then on the other side they'll show like a regular dude. And it's amazing like how many women will be like, no, like the regular dude is actually more attractive. Like I feel like it's a little bit of a bill of goods that, you know, every woman wants, like, you know, Thor. It's like, most are like, no, actually, like, that's not that attractive. So, it's kind of weird. True, but you're always your own worst critic. Yeah, there is. Yeah, 100%. But, like, the people I'm talking about in particular are, like, conventionally attractive enough to where, like, I think you are actually insane, you know? I think I've been lucky. I've gone on dates, multiple girls from dating apps, but nothing has led to a serious relationship. It kind of. So you mean you've been unlucky, or is that what you want? Like, do you want a serious relationship from it? I was just about to intercept that. I knew that was going to happen. I wasn't watching. I had a feeling. There's one right next to me, isn't there? But I think social media went harder because the ego gets so much pushed with all the, like... Yeah, that's true. And I think, I don't know, I think because maybe just dudes are more open to it. Like, you know, dudes are more open to, like, praising women. I think that there's probably an aspect of that. It's, I mean, like, dudes in the chat, I got a question for you. When's the last time, like... Well, I was going to say a woman, but I suppose it makes more sense. Like, when's the last time a woman that you didn't know, you know, so in a complete, you know, like, familiar environment, so, like, let's say you were out shopping, or you were at a gym, or you were just walking your dog. When's the last time, like, a total stranger, like, came up to you and was like, just so you know, I think you're very good looking, and then just walked off, you know? Probably never, right? But, you know, I think if like, men would be totally fine with that, but if you do that as a dude, and dudes are way more, like, you know, open to doing that, like, there's always going to be that thing, like, in the girl's mind of, like, this guy wants to sleep with me. Like, why else would he be saying this? Which, you know, if people are like, I don't get why they think that, it's like, come on. Yeah, it's understandable, but it's something that, you know, if you go to a gym, let's say, right? You know, and if you're a dude and you happen to, like, catch a woman looking at you, it's really nice. Whereas, like, women in the gym get eyed up all the time, so they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know. What's black pilled? Isn't it red pilled? You know, it's funny. I was talking to Gabe the other day. Okay, this is not completely unrelated, but does anyone in the chat know who Andrew Tate is? Or know of Andrew Tate? I didn't until a few weeks ago when Gabe mentioned him. But he mentioned about the whole, like, red-pilled thing. I was like, is that a Matrix reference? Like, and he said, oh yeah, like that's apparently a thing now online of people, like, you know, oh, like, red-pilled. And I thought, Matt, like, and it's, what I mean is, like, it surprised me that's still around, because, like, to me, I think that's, like, an old reference that, like, oh, if someone's, like, red-pilled, it's like, man, the Matrix was, like, 20 years ago, people. Like, you know, that's not a new thing at all. Anyway, tangents aside, that has never happened to me. I had one chick say my eyes look nice, but that's it. You know what? I don't know if this is true, but I do think this is something that's, like, gender neutral. You know, like, if you're a guy and you like a girl and you want to, like, say they're really good looking without really saying it, you'll compliment them on something, like, relatively benign. You'll say, like, oh, that top looks really nice on you, or like, oh, I like your hair. What you're actually saying is, you know, please go to bed with me. Joking. You're saying, like, you know, you think they're really pretty. And I think women do the same, you know, like, if a woman says anything like, oh, I like your insert thing here, I think what they're actually saying is they think you're attractive. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I've heard of him, kickboxer, apparently. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? When Gabe told me about him, I started typing Andrew Tate into YouTube, and, like, the first thing that came up was Andrew Tate compilation. And I was like, okay, let me check this out. And the dude is either tapped or just very, like, you know, he's just doing it to make money. Like, he's very business savvy, and he's aware of, like, how the online thing works, and he's doing a shtick. But anyway, I've lost my train of thought now because I had a point to make there and I got distracted. yeah, it's gone. Fuck, I forgot to jump in the lava. Hopefully it'll come back to me. But I forgot what my point was. I'm fairly certain he's a psycho. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe he's not. Maybe he just thought, man, you know what? Like, the way the internet is right now, like, if I do this and, like put out this persona, like, it's gonna piss off people, but, like, enough people will agree with me to where, like, I can make money. Maybe he's just, you know... Maybe he's just, ahead of the curve in that regard. Anyway. Black pill is a more extreme version of the red pill. Okay, I've not heard of black pill, but yeah, red pill. I would say it was just surprising to me that was like a, you know, a thing that is like said now, because I think it's, again, it's like, you know, Matrix was a long time ago, man. Man, that's annoying. I had a point to make there, and I forgot what it was. Like Andrew Tate was somehow related. Okay, that actually helps. Now then, if you're watching the archive on this, let me know if you've ever seen someone jump on Schmorgan's head before. Because every time I do that, there is usually at least one comment. It's like, oh my god, I did not know that. Also, to add to the black pill, yeah, I need to remember, I don't need to do this. The stream chat is on screen, you can read it. You know what? Like, I mean, I wouldn't say I subscribe to that 100%, but I think in general, I can see where that, like, I can see where that mindset would come from, for sure. Yeah. You know? Absolutely. I mean, as I said, I can't really comment on that. Was my point. So my point was what I was leading into the whole Andrew Tate thing with the whole, like, you know, like dating apps, people being online now. People are just a lot more connected now. So you can. It's very, very easy to like put out a persona of something that you really aren't, but you can get people interested, or, you know, like, you can get attention doing that. And what you just said, Disco, sorry, Jesident, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I've seen like bits and pieces of that, of like, you know, work out, like, get hobbies, like, you know, be like, you know, be an alpha and all that bollocks. And I think, you know, like, not to, like, shatter, like, the whole industry of that, but, like, I really don't think any woman out there, or even dude, probably, is like, this person's a fucking nightmare and they're a psychopath. Oh, but, like, they're in good shape physically, so I want to be with them. I think once you get over the age of, like, 20, that stuff, like, doesn't really hold a lot of water. And that's why, for me, like, the whole... You know, like, meeting people online and that, don't get me wrong, there's definitely, you know, examples where it works, but I think to a certain extent, like, you're never meeting or, like, experiencing, like, the real person, you know, whereas in person, I think you can get a much better idea, like, right off the bat, whether someone's full of shit or not, you know? You know what I mean? I think there's a lot to be said for... You know, like, just interacting with people. Like, you can learn more about a person in, like, a 5-minute in-person conversation than you can, like, say, texting someone back and forth, like, on a dating app for, like, 6 months. Do you know what I'm saying? Like... I take glitter... I don't know if you're actually backing up Andrew Tate. I mean... I would imagine some people probably do. So. Really important changes that need a Bugatti or a supercar to be... No, I agree with that. But I think that's the next... Yeah, like, that's the thing with him, like, you know, in the same thing. Like, I think that's just because he knows it's going to get traction. Like, people in the real world, like, don't... Only people that, like, their whole, like, identity in that is online are gonna feel that way. As I said, you know, you're not gonna You know, like what's the character's name in Misery who Kathy Bates plays? I can't but #1 fan. What's her name? No one's gonna be like, oh, but she has a Bugatti, so yeah, cool. Do you know? If you haven't seen Misery, you won't get that reference. But go watch Misery, and then you'll know what I'm saying. I don't think like people outside of that, you know, really care. And again, I've said this before too, but I think there is a huge bill, especially in like the current era, of that everyone is online and everyone is super plugged in and everyone is super connected. They're not. They're not. Like, there's way more people that don't know about like Twitch and shit than do know about it. Do I know what is Chad fishing? I mean, I haven't heard the phrase before, but I can take a pretty educated guess. I'd imagine that's when like a dude makes a profile or something and like just, you know, fills it full of fake shit and like, you know, pictures of models that aren't him. And then, you know, the dude's actually like 5'2" and, you know, pudgy. And then the girl meets him in person. She's like, oh my god! Bang! And just slaps the fuck out of him. My guess. So. Yeah, that's true, Ryu. Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, but yeah, it is true. It is true. Now here, I'm not actually sure if you get the plasma saber, so. Andrew's yeah. Yep. Fair point. Fair point, yeah. It's, yeah, Misery is really good. So is the book. But it's, I can't remember how we got onto this subject. It's interesting. The impact of that, you know? This guy is 5'2", are you saying height? Oh, height is absolutely important to women. And I know that, like, whenever you say things like that, there's always someone that's like, I don't care about it. And it's like, yeah, you're the exception that proves the rule, not disproves it. You know? It's, I've known people in the past and that, like, are not superficial about anything, but height is, like, they're like, oh, I'd never date a guy shorter than me. And I'm like, really? And they're like, no. I'm like, really though? Like, really? Like, that, like, that's that much of a deal breaker? And they're like, yeah. And, like, to be fair to them, like, they're reluctant to admit it, but, like, they're like, yeah, like, sorry, but it's true. Like, Gabe sent me this meme ages ago. I'm sure people have probably seen that, like, oh, he's a 10 meme, like, floating around. People have seen that, right? We're like, oh, he's a 10, but he's Patrick Bateman, so, do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it's like when and the thing that Gabe sent me was like, oh, when he tells you all these amazing things, but then his height starts with a 5. And it's like, ooh, man, it's like, that's harsh, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know if anyone knows who Rich Piana is, or was, because he passed away a few years ago. Whoops. I really need to pay more attention to this. But there's a picture of him, like, sat on a bench. He was a bodybuilder, for anyone who doesn't know. He's, like, absolutely, like, jacked as fuck, but, like, very, you know, took a lot of drugs. But there's a picture of him, like, sat on a bench. And it's, and the meme is, like, you know, oh, like, when you tell her your bench, deadlift, squat, but then she asks how tall you are. And, like, his face is just, like, you know, really unhappy. It's like, I shouldn't laugh, but, like, it is pretty funny. Like, it's pretty funny. What's up, relatives? Height is extremely important. 6'2". Yeah, say I'm 6. And also, that's another thing, too. And guys, be honest. How many guys do you know in real life that say they're 6 foot and you're like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Like, dude, you're 5'10". Like, you're not 6 feet. And that's something that, again, I've experienced over the years. Like, people say they're 6 feet tall, like, as dudes. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because I'm 6 foot. And you're shorter than me. So, you're not 6 feet tall, man. Sorry. I don't know who told you that, but you're not. You cheap bitch. You have to be 7 feet to make it in this world. But yeah, I mean, imagine that. Like, but it is, yeah, it's true. And that's another thing, like Tinder profiles. Anyone that's ever been on Tinder or a dating app, be honest, how many, like, female profiles have you had, that have you seen that say if you're under 6 foot, don't even bother swiping right? Let's be real here. I bet you've all seen at least a few of them, right? I'm 5'11", but just say 6 foot. Does that mean you're not 6? Well, yeah. So 5. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing though. But like 5'11", 5'11" is closer to 6 feet than it is like 5'9.9". Bean Sealer. Bean Sealer. No, not 2 in a row. Anyway, okay, I need to pay attention here because, yeah, at this health bar, this guy's kind of dangerous. That should have hit me. That box just saved my life. Bean Sealer. No? Okay. Nice. Nice. Beans, you whore. Well, I have Nimpo too. I knew he was gonna do that. Oh man. Yeah, it's play or close. Okay, yeah. I need to. I should have got Izuna drop for this guy, but yeah, like certain things matter to certain people, you know. And I think if you're honest about it, it's fine. But everyone is a little bit superficial, you know. I think everyone is like you know, be real. I've seen 5 foot women having in their profiles that they don't date guys below 6 foot, yeah. And I mean, you know, and if you've ever been on those, I mean, I don't know, it depends on the kind of person you are, but if you do see that in a profile, for me it was always like, right, well, you know, that saves me trouble of like going past your byline. Like, peace. You know? That's like a guy being like, you know, oh, like, you know, if you don't have like double D's, don't even bother swiping right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the exact same principle. You know, or like if you don't have like, great legs, like, you know, don't bother. There we go. Right. I remember the good old MSN profile pic days where you didn't know what the fuck you were getting into. Oh man. Anyone who cares about height, just, I mean, yeah, like, again, people do. Sorry, but they do. Size matters. Moving on. But it's true. It's one of them, man. Yeah, they would, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've heard, you know, I've heard accounts of females that have Tinder that have been like, you know, they've said like, fucking hell, like some of the stuff like I've actually seen in guys' profiles, like, and it doesn't surprise me. I would imagine, like, there's probably, I won't say it on here because I don't want to get banned, but I would bet, like, there's some people have shit in their profiles, like, oh, you know, like, you know, I'm not actually going to touch that with a barge, but you guys know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? You pick up what I'm putting down. Some men are, like, cave dwellers. Let's just be serious here. Like, you know. Why do we have to tolerate all this positivity then? I don't think, outside of online, I think that only exists online, man. Look at these flying swallow fucking success rates, man. This is ridiculous. Yeah, honestly, I think outside of online, that stuff's not a thing at all. That's a thing people just don't dare disagree about on Twitter because they know they'll get blown up for it. And depending on their avenue, you know, they can't disagree with that, you know? Because, I mean, look how many people get in trouble for that. Like, if an actor or, like, anybody that's even remotely famous speaks out against, like, something that's PC, like, they get crucified for it. Whereas in in reality, no one is out there being like, yeah, I'm, you know, like 10 stone overweight and that's totally fine. No one thinks that, like, outside of Twitter. I think it was from guys in the I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't say I've ever actually known women to do that. To be, like, again, in real life. To be fair, like, I feel like that's maybe a bit of online, like, seeping into your perception, if I'm honest. I don't think, you know, I don't think that's actually, you know, fair. To be fair, if someone's going to say, I have this requirement, and if you don't meet it, you're not worthy, It's legit. It's actually a bullet dodged. Yeah, 100%. And I'd say the same is like true for men. You know, it's like, as I said, you know, if they're like the stuff that probably is in like certain profiles, like, you know, or if you don't do this sexually, I don't even want to know you. It's like most women are probably going to think, okay, cool, then I don't need to waste any time on that. So I'm just going to nimbo here. I'm feeling lazy. Hey, what's it? Which you are never late. A viewer is never late. They arrive precisely when they should. I mean, you know what, Rare? You know what? It's just thought. I just remembered. You're a younger man. I forget. There's quite a bit of an age gap, isn't there? Trust me, man. Like, you know, like the older you get, like you'll, you know, you'll like that will fall by the wayside. Like it will. Like women, like over the age of I don't know, 25, 30, like they're not thinking like that. They're probably thinking more along the lines of, is this guy a psycho, and can he do his own laundry? And if your answer to that question is no and yes, she's probably thinking, oh, okay, can this guy cook? You know? That's probably more what you should be. Learn to cook. There you go. Learn to cook, learn to bake. And, you know, women will be like, man, this guy, like, doesn't want a mother substitute. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to nimbo here. There's no mystery young men or women can be cruel. Yeah, they can, yeah. They can be very cruel. Don't get me wrong, again, so can older ones, but, like, they can be. Heightism, yeah. And that's only going to get more, that's only going to get, like, worse as people get taller and taller, you know. What's the average height now? Like 5'9" or something? For guys? So if you want to be like, if you so yeah, like I think it's 5'9", maybe 5'8", but let's say it's 5'9", right? So the idea that you have to be 6 foot, or you're not even worth bothering with, I think. Hang on a minute, you know, saying that you have to be like 3 inches taller than the average, you know. What if that was 3 inches in another area? You're kind of asking for a lot, actually. Do you know what I mean? You know, being a pretty, like, decent percentage over the average is not normal. That's why it's average. What is a good piece of advice related to relationships you wished you knew sooner? I don't want to offend any women here, I really don't. But I am going to be brutally honest when I say this. If you're a dude, like, women's advice when it comes to women is not usually that great. Sorry. That's my experience. I'm not saying that's how it is, but obviously that's my perception. I have been given, like, truly terrible advice from women over the years when it comes to other women. And when you talk about it with dudes, their advice is usually, like, it's way more... Like, usually it's when you, like someone, right? You're especially when you're younger. In your head, you think, oh, I like this girl. I'll talk to a girl about it. She'll know what to do. And her advice is, like... Her advice is a Rubik's Cube for you to solve. And you're like, what the fuck? The dude's advice is like, dude, just tell her. Which is actually really good advice. Like, that's always what you should do. You know? Dude, just tell her is legit solid advice. Yeah, there's the risk of that too. But if that wasn't obvious, I was being facetious on that. I just mean that, like, as I said, the older you get, I think... Someone, like, having their shit together is way more desirable than, oh, he's 6'2" and is jacked, or, oh, she's, you know, got really big boobs, or whatever. That's what I mean, you know? You know, you don't want someone who's, like, say, past 30 and, like, you know, not got their shit together. You know, that's what I'm getting at. Never take it's like asking a fish how to fish. I've gotten some good advice though over the years. Like, it's just, I have to be honest, the majority of it has been bad. And then again, it's too complicated. I think it's, you know, like, I don't know, again, I don't know if this is true, but I think men's brains are simpler than women's brains, right? You know, so I think, you know, to us, it's a lot more simple. And that is how I handled the last time I wanted to ask somebody out. I didn't I just went for the 50-50. And that was it. You know? So. Boobs. Where did that come from? Like, it's like when people remember when like people would start spelling boy like B-O-I? I was like, why? It's the same amount of letters. You're not doing anything there. I don't understand. There've been so many tangents on this conversation, like, I can't even remember where we started. It's an unblockable mix-up. It's not an unblockable mix-up, but I think just doing the 50-50 is honestly the way forward. Like, if it's feasible, you know. If it's feasible to just do the 50-50, like, just do it, man. Like, it's either going to be a yes or a no. And you know, like, I understand that, you know, being told, believe me, like, being told no does not feel great. But at least then you know, and you can be like, okay, cool, well now I'm going to move on. It's more than a 50-50. To be fair, it is more than a 50-50, but, like, you know. The levels at which you can get blown up are the same, you know. I remember when new was new and everyone agreed with it. Oh yeah, yeah, good point, actually, yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Well, and then it was like N00B for noob. Remember that. Shit. Imagine not enjoying it in some... at work. I don't have Twitch on while I work. I can't. I do find it too distracting. I admit. I like someone trying to... yeah, without asking at all. I mean, yeah, like, if possible, that's a good way to go about it. But I still think, like, you know, you're putting more effort in than you need to it. Then again, I mean, I don't know, man. I wasn't really surprised to hear it, but I thought that does make sense, and I think that's kind of a problem. But, you know, most dates, or whatever you want to call them now, are initiated, like, not in person. And to me, I think, man, that's fucking lucky. Because when I was in school, like, that, you know, people, like, not everyone had, like, mobile phones didn't start becoming popular until I left school. So, you know, if you wanted to, like, ask a girl out at school, like, you couldn't just text her. You know? And even at the time, like, if you did that, it would be super fucking weird. Like, that wasn't a normal thing then. Like, as soon as people got phones, like, that's not how that happened, you know what I mean? I feel like that, again, is very much, like, a more modern thing. Just because of how, like, more prevalent, you know, like, non-personal communications, do you know what I mean? If like, even maybe 10, 12 years ago, like, if you liked somebody and, like, you asked them out via text, I think, like, it would be a bit, it honestly would probably be a bit of a red flag. What the fuck? Like, whereas now, like, it's just, you know, probably normal. People who started sexting off irons. Okay, so I'm gonna ask, like, a very boomer question here, even though it's not, because, but anyway, like, to most people, that's what. Is sexting just when you're talking about sex in text messages? Is that what that means? Can you stop fucking throwing your arms at me and, like, try and hit me? Thank you. Bitch. There we go. Because I first heard of sexting when it was people getting in, like, you know... It was like, this actor got caught sexting this girl. And it's like, is it talking about... Like, is it talking about sex in a text to someone you have had sex with? Or is it just... You know... Like... Or is it just, you know... Like, hey, when you get home tonight, I want to do this. You know, and if you're with that person, that's totally normal. Like... Noobs don't get boobs. Oh, that's a t-shirt right there. I'd wear that t-shirt. I would totally wear that t-shirt. Noobs don't get boobs. That's brilliant. That's a top tier chat right there. That is the new normality. Oh yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that that's normal now. But what I'm saying is, when I was 17 in college, it was a thing. It's like you don't ask somebody out via a text message. Like, it was kind of it was honestly like, thinking back, it was like, if you did that, like, it was kind of, like I say, not just a red flag, but, you know, it was a bit like, oh, you know, it's a bit like cowardly, you know, because it's like, oh, like, you don't have the guts to do it face to face, like, you know, do you know what I mean? You know what's the worst thing about having phones be so prevalent? If you're a kid in high school and you do something embarrassing, yeah, that must be. I really do feel for kids like that these days. Like the fact that like everybody's probably on TikTok and shit like that, you know, a mistake is probably going to be common knowledge, you know. That must be really rough. It refers to the... Yeah, but again, if you're with the person, what's wrong with that? You know? I don't know. Like, yeah, you know. Am I being too crude? But... So yeah, it is basically just talking about doing it then. Fair enough. News don't get real. I really do want that as a t-shirt. Like, that would be amazing. That would be an amazing t-shirt. Sounds... Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, you think at school, like, the schoolyard was... Think about it, like, the schoolyard before, like, social media was basically what the internet is now, you know? Something can be the biggest news in the world, and then 2 days later, nobody gives a fuck. You know, that's kind of what schoolyard was used to be like, you know? Oh, did you hear about so-and-so? And then, like, tomorrow, no one cared. Like, you know. Would this be the first piece of JTB merch? I mean, if it was, like, financially viable for me to do merch, which I honestly don't think it ever will be, like, I don't know what the first thing would be. Like, I don't know. I got no idea. What do you guys think it should be? Like, I got no idea. Of course, it'd be era roleplay though, and oh, okay, yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, so sexting can be many things, apparently. Yeah, the bumper on this controller's a bit wonky. So I did not just want to get hit there. Thank you. When you're in the zone, you can... Yeah, you can, yeah. And here's another thing, too, that's also true, and I think some women will agree. I think when women are in that zone, I think, like, they can be so much cruder than men. So, like, you know what I mean? Again, I won't give any examples, because I don't want to get in trouble, but... I think, like, when like, women turn off their safeties, you can be like, damn. I'll set you with some merch. I have no idea how, because to be fair, like, there are relatively small channels I know that have got merch, but I wouldn't want to do it for the sake of it though. That's my thing. I wouldn't want to do it just for the hell of it, because I think a lot of the stuff that I've seen, you know, they're all definitely using like the same supplier. So all you're really paying for is like words on a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, if there was like a, you know, let me tickle your whistle as a t-shirt, you know, you could just go to a print shop and get that t-shirt made yourself. Like, you know. So. On demand, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's not something I've really thought of. But it makes sense, because as I said, like, I do know, like, some relatively small channels that have merch, and I think, well, you know, surely, like, they can't be selling that much, but, like, they're still doing it, so. Oh, I'm at the sun. No, no, man. They have quite a lot less health on Very Hard, don't they? I'd like more practical merch, though. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea, like, what I would want to do. I feel like the YouTube and, like, influencer merch is, honestly, like, a bit cringy for the most part. Because it usually is just, you know, like, a t-shirt or something. With, like, something nonsensical on it. Like, it'd be cool to do merch that was, like, not necessarily, like, oh, that's from like JTB's stream. Do you know what I mean? It would be cool to do merch that like you could just use or wear, but I don't know what that would really be realistically. Do you know what I mean? That was close. Most of it's very empty in value. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I'm sure like all the really, really big streamers like have like T-shirts and that with, you know, like their like an emote on it or something. And I think, yeah, but like, what's the point in that? Like, as I said, like you could get that made yourself, like if you really wanted to. Stop giving me yellows, man. In the rear. See, you could get a T-shirt with "in the rear" on it. I mean, you might want to be careful where you wear said T-shirt, but if you really wanted a T-shirt with that on it, you could just go and make one. So. Nice. There's some cool designs that look good by itself, not related to the streamer. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's one thing. I don't know if anybody follows the tech scene at all, but if you do, the Linus Tech Tips put up a video the other day of their backpack that they're coming out with, and I really want one of those. I genuinely, like, I need a new bag right now. Like, my current rucksack is definitely on its last legs, and watching the video where like he went through that, I'm like, man, that looks like a very well-made piece of gear, and it doesn't have like, you know, it's not, you know, obtuse with logos on it. The only thing that puts me off is the price. Like, it's quite pricey. But looking at it, like, it, you know, that'd probably be the last bag I ever buy. Do you know what I mean? But like, I wouldn't mind one of those, you know. Should just be a picture of the wooden sword, but it belongs in the rear. I mean, again, I feel like that's a little bit on the nose, but... Have you seen MKBHD merch? No, I haven't actually, no. I didn't know he had merch, it doesn't surprise me. But again, like, the only thing that puts me off a lot of merch is that it's just, again, it's really expensive. Don't get me wrong, that backpack in particular... I've got half a mind to buy one, I'm not gonna lie. It's $250, just for reference, for that bag. And I think, generally speaking, you know, if you get, say, like a new bag once every 5 years, which is, like, pretty reasonable if you use a bag, you know, as often as I do, I think, yeah, you know, like, if I never ever have to buy another bag for the rest of my life, you know, it would actually pay for itself. It's just the initial thing of like, man, like 200 quid for a bag is pretty expensive. Like, you know what I mean? It's that initial upfront cost of like, ooh, you know. Yeah, that's a chunk of change, that is. Whip out the Rudd throbbing red UF. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Question to the channel streamer. Do you guys like wearing overly... No, I don't, actually. I don't. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this, but has anyone ever noticed that, like, when's the last time you ever saw me wear something with, like, a logo on it? Like, I like stuff to be plain. I know I have, especially in winter, you've probably seen, like, I've got a lot of, like, Everlast gear, just from, like, workout stuff, and that's usually has, like, a big logo on the front. And their boxing stuff is good, but, like, generally speaking, like, I don't like logos. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but like when people have like when people are just covered in logos, it strikes me as like a real sign of insecurity. Again, I might be reading too much into it, but that's how I look at it. Like if someone's just head to toe in logos, I'm like, man, like you really want people to know how much what you're wearing costs, don't you? Like, do you know what I mean? And that's another thing too, if anyone's ever looked at you know what? There was a thing about, I think it was one of the James Bond movies, right? I can't remember the poster for it, but this is a weird tangent, but I have a point. He was wearing this jumper, right? And there was something related. I think it was Sony or something, like, wanted him to, like show the phone in the film or something. I think it was Sony. to then be like, oh, you know, for product placement and that. But the thing that took off was the jumper the jumper Daniel Craig was wearing in the poster. And yet that didn't have, like, a logo on it at all. It was just a nice-looking jumper, so people were like, oh, what jumper's that? You know? And it's weird to think that, like, that's something that would be a thing in this day and age, but it's true. Right? I don't mind if it's something I really care about. Yeah, true. I mean, there are exceptions. Like, I have a few things that are very loud, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a few loud items of clothing. I don't wear them very often. Just because they're cool, you know, and I like them. But for the most part, it's like, nah. And as someone who's very active as well, I don't want to wear nice clothes just to sweat. You know, like, you know, I'm not gonna wear like a really nice t-shirt to bench press in, or like go rock climbing in. You know, you don't see it because I usually change my shirt, but I haven't trained today, but I usually, like, when I'm finished training, like, there's chalk prints like all over my t-shirt. You know, from chalk on my hands. I just change my t-shirt before I stream, so, you know, I'm not going to wear something really nice just to get it covered in chalk. To me, that's stupid. Clothing has just become practical for me. Yeah. Would you wear an NGB t-shirt with the design? Oh yeah, I have that on a t-shirt. I literally have that posted as a t-shirt, you know? And when I'm feeling like I want to wear it, you know, I'll wear it. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, you know, I just... It's function over, you know, it's function over style. You know, and then when you do wear things that are like, you know, pretty swish, you know, it feels nice. Good mobs. Just ordered some Arby's. That's fast food, right? Show the t-shirt. I mean, I could. I'm not going to because I'm lazy. I will do a donation to wear the t-shirt. You know what? That could be a channel points reward. Wear the NG shirt on stream. You know? So. I'll let you know. I mean, I don't know. I've only ever heard people talk shit about Arby's, but, you know. Have you had Arby's before? Or is this the first time having Arby's? What are the appropriate times to wear branded clothing in your mind? I mean, I don't. You do you, man. Like, I'm not here to tell you that. Like, you do you. As I said, like, the thing about when I see people that are just, you know, head to toe in logos, like, to me, it really does spark of insecurity. That's just my 2 pennies. You know? That's just my 2 cents. The NG shirt is sick. It is pretty cool. Hype beats are weird. Yeah, I mean, like, that's another one. Like, if you ever... I mean, there's so many memes on that, but I kind of agree with them. It's like, how many videos are there online of people just, like, ripping apart, like, how shit, like, beats are? And you see people with them, and you're like, man. It's like... You just want to be seen wearing Beats when you could have spent like a sixth of the money and gotten headphones that are like 10 times better. So, yeah, but I mean, even if you do, man, like, you know, that's your freedom, man. You know, if you've got like a Calvin Klein T-shirt that costs you like 60 quid and you want to wear it when you go mud wrestling, you do that. You do that. You know, you know, like, who am I to tell you that you can't do that? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I think that's kind of dumb, but, you know. Okay, I did not actually know that. Anyone playing the Scotch on PC? Oops. Nice. I can't say how, to be honest. Oh, I meant Beasts? Oh, okay, I don't know what that means. But, yeah, you guys know what I mean. Like, I mean, like, the Beats headphones, right? You know? There's literally... I feel like every single big tech channel has a video being like, yeah, these suck. Like, do not buy them. They're a complete bill. You know? And they'll recommend, like, here's, like, a 50 quid pair of, like, Sonys you can get that are, like, 10 times better. shit, I was too early on that. Yeah, and yet, you know, how many people do you see, like, with Beats headphones on? And you're like, dude, what you doing? Hey, what's up, TGD? This run was actually a lot of fun because of early Nimpo. Like, having early Nimpo on very hard is actually quite nice. Although I think it kind of robs very hard of its, like, unique property. Because, like, that's the thing that kind of separates the very hard run. Is that you don't have Nimpo right off the bat. It does make the run quite a bit easier. So. NGB on Steam would be sick. Beats by Infiltration. Oh, man. And also earphones too. Like, has anyone actually tried like really expensive earphones? I'm really curious. Because to me, like, I'm thinking, you know, the reason headphones sound so, even like a basic pair of headphones, you know, is because of the, I can't remember what the technical word is, but it's like the cap, you know, the thing that actually produces the sound has like a lot more mass to it. It's why you get a better sound. So people, you know, paying like premium headphone prices for earphones, I'm like, surely they can't sound as good because like they just don't have the mass of a headphone. I don't know, man, but I'm not gonna like, you know, dump the money on a pair of those headphones to find out, like, you know. Okay, I thought that was actually good. Does anyone know if there's a no-clip mod for NG? Not that I know of, no. And honestly, I really kind of hope there is never one made or found. Because I think it would ruin speedruns for this game. Best earphones I've had are the Sony wireless earbuds. I hate earbuds. I can't put things in my ears, so I don't know, man. But yeah, I can't stand earbuds. Samsung buds are nice. I'm going to be getting some soon. One of the funniest things is people's examples buying Astro headsets. Astros are bad, though. Astros are the Beats of like gaming headphones. And also the whole gaming headphones is a load of bollocks. Like, just get a pair of headphones. Get a pair of decent headphones. But yeah, Astros are terrible. I remember the first time I used them because they're at every fucking tournament. Like, you know, they're super common at tournaments. And I'm like, oh man, like to the point where I just bring my own headphones. Like Astros are like, you know, a pair of Astros is like hundreds. Like, they're not cheap, and yet they're fucking crap. It's just, again, it's just the name. I remember in the Halo 3 days, when like MLG were promoting the shit out of Astros, and at the time they were like $300 a pair. Like, they were really expensive. And yet it's like, but they're not good. Like, you know. Oh, like, and again, you know, you can go look it up. I feel like saying stuff on this is pointless, but you know, if you've got 20 to 30 pounds, you can get a decent set of headphones in this day and age for that amount of money. If you want to spend a little bit more, maybe like 50, 60, you can get a really nice pair of headphones. Like, you know. But I feel like the idea that you have to spend hundreds to get like a decent pair of headphones is just retarded, I'm sorry. I'm wearing earphones. And you know what? Shout outs to these. What are they? I think these are Sennheisers. Yeah, they are. Yeah, these are Sennheisers. These were like 17 quid. Really good sound. Really good. Really good quality. When you learn to equalize your headphones, you won't need to spend more than 300 for endgame sound. Yeah, I mean, even that's like quite a bit, though. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if the Astros used to be decent, but now that they're a lot more mainstream, they suck. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that's another thing why I like these earphones, because they're black, and, you know, my webcam's not great. Like, they do kind of have a bit of a stealth look to them. Like, the only thing that really gives it away is, like, the little volume control thing here. So. What Sennheisers are you using? No, it doesn't have a mic built in. I specifically got ones that didn't, because I didn't want a mic on my headphones. Because when I'm talking shit about people, you know, on the phone, I don't want them to hear me by accident. But I just didn't want it, because I just wanted headphones. I can't remember what these are. I bought them years ago. The two pairs of earphones that I use on the regular are these, and I have a pair that like I take out, and both are Sennheisers, and can't fault them. Like, superb headphones. Really good. Well, earphones. They're not headphones. But they're really good. Really good. Should see if you have the... oh, I won't because I haven't redone the mod. Because you have to redo the mod, right? I haven't done that, so... Do you know if they're a mic? They usually are, yeah. I think most headphones these days have like a microphone option. So you can probably get this pair I have like with a mic. It wouldn't surprise me. I just thought, yeah, let's go Inferno. We'll do the Lazy Man UF strap. Alright, so there's only Master Ninja to go after this. And then we can start thinking about what we want to do here. I don't know. New Game plus Calm Run, I think, is first, though. That's probably what I'm going to do before I do anything else. So. You can shoot Rachel here, too. If anyone doesn't know. Nice. I did upgrade Inferno to level 3, so... Well, on hard, he did steal it. So, how climactic a final boss is Fiend Mirai? I think he's a pretty good final boss, actually. I think he's pretty good. I must admit, it was kind of fun seeing people get absolutely wrecked by him. How lucky was that, man? On the Master Collection. Like, because people are like, oh, Mirai! And, like, again, people just try and, you know, play the game with their face. And Flying Swallow doesn't work on him. And they're like, oh my god, what do I do? You know, like, it was pretty funny. Oh, I actually thought that would kill him. God damn it. I wanted to get my full Nimpo bonus. But I think he's a cool final boss. He's a bit busted in terms of like actual mechanics. Like he is a bit cheap because like he can just parry you whenever he wants. But he's a good final boss. There's a good topic. Like top 5 last bosses in an action game. What's your picks? I'd go like rapid fire off the top of my head. I think it says a lot for the bosses in DMC, but honestly, I'd put Mundus and Virgil in there, 100%, from DMC 1, DMC 3. What else we got? I was gonna go rapid fire, but god, there's a lot of fucking games to actually think about. Onimusha 2. I can't remember the name of the boss, but like the final boss in Onimusha 2 is really fucking good. I know that's not like strictly an action game, but you know what I mean. Metal Gear Rising. Fucking 100% Metal Gear Rising. I do want to put Fiend Mirai in there, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if, like... Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, yeah, Fiend Mirai. There we go. That's my 5. There we go. I was thinking of Antonius from Shadow of Rome, but... Reading Steam forums on NG is another level of cringe. I can imagine. I haven't read them. So... And there we go. That's very hard done. New Game Plus in the bag. Right, if you're watching on the archive channel, thank you very much. Subscribe and all that bollocks. In all seriousness, though, like, I need that channel to hit 1,000 subscribers before I can, like, start streaming on it. So, yeah, subscribe to the archive channel. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.